Okay, now is the time to ask questions. If you have any questions, please go ahead.
The first question is, many teachers in Theravada Buddhism, they recommend to practice anatta to get rid of the sense of the self. So one girl, she's asking, how exactly should we practice to get rid of the self? Because it is the root of ignorance.
That's the highest practice. Before you can go up to that level, you have to practice loving kindness first. Love other people first. And then practice dana, charity, helping other, give love to other people. This is the way to reduce your selfishness, yourself. But in order to give up yourself entirely, you have to meditate. When you meditate, if you can succeed, you'll see that you are not the body, you're not a self, you're just a knower. You're a knowing element. The mind is a knowing element that knows, that thing, that feels. But due to delusion, misunderstanding, the mind thinks that it is a self. But in fact, there is no self. It's just a creation by the mind, imagination by the mind. And so you have to get to that level before you can truly see that there is no self. But before you can go up to that level, you can practice selflessness first by being thinking of other people more than about yourself. Helping other people, making other people happy, and also try to lower yourself down. Try to treat yourself like a servant, and let other people be your boss. This is the one way of reducing yourself. Eventually, you want to reduce it to zero, which means you only merely know. Whatever people say to you, you just merely know. You don't react to them because there's no self to react to. Because the mind is just a knowing element. It just knows. So that's what you should be like eventually, just to be merely knowing. Whatever you see, just merely see. Whatever you hear, just merely hear. Don't react with love, hate, or delusion. Okay.
Thank you very much. She also wants to ask a question.
I have children and I have very strong attachment to them, and I want to help them to go on the way, to follow the way of freedom. Would you recommend to do, if I have a chance to help them, or any practical recommendation, what I should do?
You should teach them to have morality. That is, they should maintain the 5 precepts. Not kill, not steal, not lie, not committing sexual misconduct, and not drinking or taking drugs. This is the basic practice to remain safe and sound, not to get into trouble. So they have to be honest, truthful, and they should also practice charity, learn to give things to other people, learn to be kind to other people, not just to yourself, because you have to live with other people, and people will only love you if you are nice to them, if you are kind to them. If you're not nice to them or kind to them, then they can hurt you, they can be bad to you. So this is basically what you should first teach your children, to have morality, to keep the 5 precepts, and also to practice charity. Okay?
Some people, they are thinking of becoming ordained, but they are asking how to understand that this life will be more fruitful for them, because sometimes they have to leave their families behind and they are a bit afraid to make such a step. So how to understand that a person is ready to be ordained?
You first have to have happiness from meditation. Once you have meditation as your mean of being happy, then you can leave everything behind you. The reason why you cannot leave everything because you still need them to keep you happy. You still need money, you still need to go on a holiday, you need to have parties, you need to watch movies. As long as you rely on these things to make you happy, then you cannot leave these things. But if you can meditate and find happiness from meditation, then you will be ready to ordain, because you want to have more time for meditation. And the best way to meditate is to become ordained as a monk or as a bhikkhuni, because then you don't have to worry about making a living. You don't have to work to get money to feed yourself, because once you become a monk or a meshi, someone will support you. Then you would have all the time to do meditation practice.
What is your recommendation to develop very good sati, awareness?
You have to have days for meditation practice. You cannot do it on your working days, because when you work, you have to use a lot of thoughts. You cannot stop thinking. The goal of practice mindfulness is to stop thinking, so that when you meditate, your mind can become peaceful and calm and happy. So you might have to have days for meditation retreat. Like every week in Buddhism, the Buddha said you should have one day off for meditation retreat, like today. Stop working and go to a quiet place. If possible, be alone, and then spend all day long developing mindfulness and meditation. You need to have time to do it. Okay.
Thank you for this possibility.
Can you speak louder, please?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for this possibility to ask a question. My question is rather personality, but maybe for somebody it will be interesting. Also, I've lost my son more than 10, about 9 years ago, and I feel I'm missing him very much. And I would like to find the equanimity. I practice meditation about 7 years. I've found my foundation, but I couldn't find joy or feeling better in my soul here. And I would like to ask you, how can I define? What should I do to find purify my in my mind and maybe find freedom in maybe I don't want to birth again here, you know. I unfortunately I'm very suffered.
Yes. The reason why you suffer is because you cannot stop your mind from creating the suffering. You're creating the suffering yourself by thinking about something that you cannot get or have. Then you become sad. And so the goal to stop this suffering is to stop the mind from thinking. So you need to develop a lot of mindfulness. And then you have to sit and meditate until the mind becomes completely 100% still, not thinking. Then you'll find peace and happiness from that state of mind. So that's the goal, is to practice, when you're not sitting in meditation, practice mindfulness. Concentrate on an object, like a mantra, Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. Or you can use watching your body movement. Just focus on your body movement. Don't let your body go and think about other things. And then when you have time to meditate, sit down, and then you can use the mantra Bhutto, Bhutto, or you can watch your breath at the tip of your nose. When you breathe in, just watch, just know that you're breathing in. When you're breathing out, just know you're breathing out. Don't do anything, just watch and stop thinking about other things. If you can do this, eventually your mind will stop thinking, and then you'll find peace and happiness.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I've been practicing this way.
Yeah, you might have to do intensive course. Go to a meditation retreat, 10-day retreat, 15 days retreat, or something like that.
Yeah.
In order for you to produce any result.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right.
Is it advisable for lay people to keep 8 precepts in ordinary life, or it's better to keep 5 precepts?
It depends on which one is more practical for you. If you're working, keeping the 8 precept might be difficult because you have to eat at noon, at 12 o'clock, and also you have to have dinner afterward. Because when you work, you use more energy, so you need to have more food to provide the body with the energy to work. So it's better if you're working, just keep the 5 precepts. Then when you're not working on your day off, you can keep the 8 precepts. But it's up to you. If your mind is strong enough to keep the 8 precepts, then nothing to stop you from doing it. It depends on how strong your mindfulness is. If you have strong mindfulness, then you can maintain the 8 precepts. If you have weak mindfulness, you'll find it difficult to keep the 8 precepts. So the 5 precepts might be more applicable for you. So you have to you have to look at the strength of your mind. How much can it take? How much can it do? Don't overdo. Don't do something that you cannot do yet, because it will make you frustrated and can make you feel like not giving up. Yeah.
And we have one last question. When we read discourses of Ajahn Mahabua, he mentioned that the chitta of Arahant becomes deathless. But does it mean that like on this level of enlightenment, there is like one general chitta, or still there is some distinction to the pure chitta of each person when they reach to this level?
Well, see, actually, every chitta of everybody is deathless. It doesn't die. But it takes birth with a body. When it takes birth with a body, then it has to experience death of the body. But for the chitta of an arahant, he doesn't take any birth anymore. So he doesn't experience any death from having a body. So he called this deathless. But in fact, every mind, every chitta, like you and mine, doesn't die with the body. But it goes on and take up a new body. And when you have a new body, new birth, then you will have aging, sickness, and death following. If you don't want to have any aging, sickness, and death follow, then you have to stop rebirth. So when you could stop rebirth, then you can call the mind deathless. Doesn't have to face any death anymore. Death of the body, not death of the mind, because the mind never dies. The mind lives forever. It's the body that doesn't last forever. And as long as you still depend on the body to make you happy, then you have to have rebirth. And when you have rebirth, you have sickness and aging and death follow for every birth. So the goal is to stop rebirth. And in order to stop rebirth, you have to stop the cause of rebirth. And the cause of rebirth is your sensual desire, craving for sensual desire. You want to use the body as the instrument to find happiness from seeing, from hearing, from eating, from drinking, and so forth. So you have to stop this sensual pleasure desire by using meditation as a replacement. When you can find happiness through meditation, then you can stop using the body as a means of making you happy. Then you can stop rebirth. Then when you stop rebirth, then there will be no death coming.
Thank you very much. The office has allowed us to stay here for 4 days, starting from tomorrow, so we'll come again to ask more questions later.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you can see me on Saturday and Sunday, same time. Tomorrow I'll be at the dining hall in the morning.
We come in dining hall also.
Okay. All right. Hope you enjoy your stay here.
We have a few questions today from our group, and if we have more time from other people who couldn't come, but they also want to ask questions. But we start from the questions from those who are present here. So here we have one woman. She has just said her first 10-day retreat. It was her first experience of meditation, and it influenced her life a lot. When she went back to her work, she works as a babysitter. She found that she is not interested anymore in increasing her workload or earning more money, because she became more attentive to the state of her mind. So she wants to maintain this peacefulness of the mind. And what can you recommend to her? Because now she feels like her whole life is changing because she tasted that peace in the meditation, but it means she needs to change her work somehow.
Yes, if you want to improve your practice, you have to spend more time practicing mindfulness and meditation. And if you want to do that, then you have to reduce down your workload so that you can have more time for your practice. But if you practice, you'll find that you are happy, content, and you don't feel you need much money. So you can stop working or reduce your workload as you advance in your spiritual path. And the goal is to keep practicing mindfulness and meditation, because this will keep the mind peaceful and calm and happy. Okay. So if you can find time to do practice every day, mindfulness practice and meditation practice every day, that's good. As she works also. But on some days, if she's not working, she should then devote the time for meditation practice and mindfulness, rather than go on shopping or go on to movies or things like that. Try to pull the time away from these sensual pleasure activities and devote it to the practice of meditation and mindfulness.
Thank you very much. Next question is, we have here one psychologist here. She is psychologist and psychotherapist,
Yes.
and she is very empathic by nature. So when she hears about the sufferings of her clients, of other people, she feels it on her body, she feels very strong emotional response. And sometimes it's very, very strong. So it's hard to continue her work because she is so influenced, she has lots of compassion to her clients. So how can she help herself and continue to help people?
Before she can treat other people, she has to treat herself first. Because her mind is not normal. She cannot remain in equanimity, ubekha. So she becomes overwhelmed with compassion. Having compassion is good, but there must be a limit, that your compassion doesn't hurt yourself. So when starting to hurt yourself, you have to stop. And then practice equanimity, meditation, to calm your mind down first. So what she needs to do is to treat herself with, make her mind calm all the time, so that when she deals with her patient, she will not be overwhelmed by compassion for her own patient. She will do what she can do, but anything more than that, then she will have to stop, or else she can become emotionally involved herself and become unhappy and sad. So you have to maintain equanimity all the time. Regardless of what you do, you should maintain your peace of mind all the time. And then you can do whatever you can within that limit. If it starts to disrupt your peace of mind, then you have to fall back. Okay.
This gentleman wants to ask 2 questions.
Yeah.
would you be so kind to explain what's the best state of mind at the moment of living the life? Could we choose it, or
Yes.
is it possible to improve, maybe some train this possibility?
Yes, the best state of mind is to stay calm, stay normal, like right now, and die like nothing happened. You know, as if death is just another happening that doesn't hurt you or disrupt your mind, disturb your mind. In order to do this, you have to practice a lot of mindfulness and meditation and wisdom. Wisdom will teach you to let go of your attachment to your body. You cannot cling to your body. You don't want to, if you cling to your body, you don't want your body to die, you can get a lot of stress, a lot of suffering.
Mhm.
But if you know that the body is impermanent, is subjected to death, it will have to die. So when the time comes, just let it be and stay calm, stay with mindfulness. Then your mind will not be disturbed by the happening of the body, the death of the body.
Is calm it's enough, or
Wisdom also, you have to accept death. You cannot refuse it. If you don't want to let the body die, then you can get suffering
Mhm.
from resisting. But if you accept, well, it's the time for the body to die, let it be. But don't kill the body, just let it die by itself. Let it stop breathing by itself.
Mhm.
Okay, you're just being just an observer. Act like an observer,
I see.
watching your body, like a doctor watching the patient. Okay, the doctor doesn't die with the patient. Likewise, the mind doesn't die with the body. So just treat the mind like a doctor, and treat the body like a patient. The mind just keep watching the body. If it can help the body, do it. If it can keep the body going, do it. But if it cannot do anything to the body, then just have to let the body be.
Thank you so much.
Okay. All right.
Also, one woman is asking that sometimes she does something in her life, but she's comparing it with others, and then she's devaluating her own effort. So she's suffering because she feels like she's not doing something as well as others. And can you recommend any practice how to value your own efforts that you put in your work?
You should not compare other people to yourself because we are different. We have different abilities. We should compare ourselves to our defilement. This is what we should compare or fight with, compete with. We should compete with our defilement, our greed, hate, and delusion. This is what we should do. Try to stop, win over the greed, hatred, and delusion. And because once you can get rid of your greed, hate, and delusion, your mind will be peaceful and happy. And it doesn't matter whether you're poor or you're rich, you're beautiful or not beautiful. This thing will not bother your mind.
Thank you. And also she is asking, can you elaborate on the qualities of Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha? What are these qualities?
Well, their ability, what they did. The Buddha is a self-enlightened person. This is the quality of Buddha. He discovered the Four Noble Truths by himself. He discovered Nibbana by himself. Nobody knows how to get to Nibbana. So he had to explore and study and find out by himself. Like scientists, modern scientists discover so many things. They discover through their own ability. Like Newton discovered the law of gravity, for instance. So the Buddha discovered the law of karma and discovered the path to enlightenment, to Nibbana by himself. So he is a supreme teacher because no one else in this world knows this thing but himself only. And if anybody wants to learn, they have to learn from the Buddha. And when they learn from the Buddha and then they became enlightened, then they become the noble disciple of the Buddha. Well, this is This is the quality of the Sangha. They are the student of the Buddha. They follow his teaching and practice until they became enlightened like the Buddha. And the Dhamma is the Buddha's teaching. If you study the Buddha's teaching, even though not from himself directly, it's still the same, because his teaching has been recorded from his speeches that he gave, his talk. So you can rely on the scripture that contains the teaching of the Buddha to be your guide. You can study from the Dhamma scripture, and you can then use it to apply in your practice. And once you practice, you can also become a noble disciple. You can become enlightened. So these are the three qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Okay?
Thank you very much. She's also asking if there are any meditations that are aimed at improving your physical health.
No, because no matter how well you treat your body will still get old, get sick, and die anyway. So it's useless to spend too much time on something that you cannot stop from happening. It's better to spend your time on something you can stop happening, that is suffering in your mind. By practicing meditation and wisdom, then you can eliminate all your suffering in your mind forever.
Thank you very much. Also, one woman from our group, she is asking if the people who are not married officially, if they get children, does it mean that these children will have bad karma? And if people, they stay together, but they have not been married, does it matter somehow from the karmic point of view? Is it important to have some official document like I'm married to this person officially, or to have the surname of your husband when you are actually not living with him anymore? Does it matter somehow or not?
No, it doesn't matter to the children. The children, whether they grow up to be great or not, depend on their own karma, depending on their own abilities, not depending on a piece of paper that say you are the son of somebody or something. This is more for legal matters, like property, things that you can inherit from your parents or something like that. Then you need a piece of paper to certify that you are the children of this particular couples, so that you are entitled to the property, the money that they have after they die, for instance. But as far as the person himself or herself, the ability to do things, this is depend on each individual karma, which came from our past life. And we came from different places. We might have the same parents, but our past life we might have been somewhere else, maybe in Russia, maybe born in America. But then when we die, we came and born in the same mother and father. But we have different abilities. So same children with the same parents have different abilities. Some can achieve highly and some cannot achieve much. That's because they have different ability. This is their karma. Ability means karma. Okay?
Thank you. And so from the point of Sheila, it doesn't matter if you are officially married to some person, you just stay loyal to your partner even though you have not been registered.
That's right. And you also have to be responsible for your children also. You have to look after them, feed them so that they can grow up properly, and then they can then depend on themselves. When they cannot yet depend on themselves, it's your responsibility to look after them. Whether you have marriage certificate or not, the truth is you are the parent. So it's your responsibility to look after your children.
Okay, thank you very much. And also one person from our group, he is asking that very often he lives in the society and he has some opinions that are very different from other people in the society. For example, regarding vaccination or something. And usually he is not sharing his opinion because he doesn't want to interfere in how other people view the world. Is it like the correct approach?
Yes, you keep your opinion to yourself. Don't try to impose your opinion on other people. Then you can live with other people. But as soon as you start to impose your will, your opinion on other people, you might get into conflict with other people. So you don't want to have conflict. You want to live in harmony with other people by preserve your opinion. Don't impose your opinion on other people.
Thank you very much. One person is asking how to become a monk in this monastery and what is needed for that.
Well, usually you have to be a male first. You have to be a male age 20. We don't ordain women here because we don't have room for them. It's only for monks. And you have to be at least 20 years old, and you have to come and talk to the abbot and ask permission for ordination. If he accepts you, then you can be ordained here and live here.
Thank you. One person is asking how to become steady in the practice, how to rely on the practice when you live a worldly life and you have very intense life as a psychologist and kind of boss of some company.
Well, you can have both. You have to choose one or the other because you only have 24 hours a day. And the time you have to divide up between these two projects. If you want to spend more time on your work, then you will have less time on your practice. If you want to have more time on your practice, then you have to reduce the time for your work. That's it, just time management.
Thank you very much. And he is asking, is compassion always useful, or sometimes compassion is not fit for the situation or be even harmful for others?
That's right. If it's not profitable or harmful, then you should just use equanimity. Just leave the person alone. Because if you help that person and then that person can go hurt other people, then you don't want to help that person. If you help that person and that person can go do things that is beneficial for other people, then you can do that. So it depends on the situation. Okay.
And how to get rid of attachment even to something good in life?
How to get rid of passion?
Attachment. Like not to have attachment even to some good things in your life.
You have to see that they are impermanent, they are temporary. They only exist briefly. One day you have to be separated from them. And when you have to lose them, you'll feel sad. If you don't feel sad, then it's better just to be alone. When you have nothing, then you have nothing to lose, right? So when you have something, you will have to lose them sooner or later, one day. So look at everything as temporary, impermanent, not permanent, not lasting. Then when things happen, they have to leave you, then you won't feel sad. Or when you have to leave them, you won't feel sad. Because you know that this is the way how things work.
Okay, thank you very much. And last two questions. The first one is, what is the relation between citta and time? Like time and like eternity, what is the relation? So when you become enlightened, like you do not live in worldly time. Thus the time perception differs.
Time exists only when there is movement. See? Like when there is turning around of the earth, you have time. If the earth stood still, then you won't have time, right? You will always be at 12 o'clock all the time. So time is just a function of movement. It has nothing to do with the citta. Citta is the mind, a knowing element, that know, that feel, that thing. So it has nothing to do with time.
But in Nibbana there is no time because it exists.
Well, because there's no birth. When there's no birth, there's no aging, no sickness, no death. So you exist in space where there is no change, no movement.
But how does it happen that the citta, they become bound to birth and death if they exist in this state at first? Why do they choose to be born with some mistake?
Misunderstanding. They thought being born is good. Because when you're born, you can have money, you can have wealth, you can go places, you can have family, you can have sexual conduct. So they thought this is good, but they only see one side of the story. They don't see the other side, which is bad, because everything is temporary. One day you have to lose them. When you lose them, then you suffer, you feel bad. So when you become enlightened, you say everything is temporary, everything is dukkha. So it's better not to have anything, just better to live alone.
Thank you very much. And last question. If you become enlightened, so you know for sure what happens after death of the body.
But the body has its own course. It's going to have to get sick and die. When it's going to happen, you don't know. Because there are many factors, many conditions that can cause the death of your body. You might fall off a plane, you might just slip and fall down and hit something on your head and you go. So there are many conditions or causes of your death that you cannot anticipate. But you know you're going to die, the body is going to die. But how or when, this is still varies. Because you don't know the condition that will cause it to die. Maybe die of natural causes, maybe die of COVID. So anything can happen to the body. But it doesn't matter as long as you're ready to let it die, then it doesn't matter how you die or when you die.
But the mind state of Arahant doesn't change after death, so it's like the same knowing.
It has no attachment to the body. So it doesn't have any effect on the mind, how the body dies, when the body dies.
Okay, thank you very much for your time.
Okay. Everything happy with your questions?
Yes, I will now go. I will translate for them because most of them don't understand English, but I will translate.
You still have one more day? Tomorrow? Are you staying for another Dhamma talk? Or you
Yes, we'll come tomorrow. We stay until Tuesday.
Oh, I see. Okay then. Okay.
Is it possible to ask one more question?
Sure, go ahead.
Could you tell me, please?
Can you speak louder?
What up to what age to become the monk?
Usually they don't want to take older people because they might not be able to support themselves. So it depends. There is no fixed age. It depends on how the abbot will consider whether this person is still strong enough to be a monk or not. Because as a monk, you have to do everything yourself. You have to go collect food yourself. You have to wash your own robes. You have to do everything yourself. And so if you're sick and weak and not able to do yourself, you can become a burden to the community. So they will not accept you.
Okay. Is it possible to achieve enlightenment during one life, or it depends?
Yes, if you follow the teaching of the Buddha faithfully, the Buddha said either 7 days, 7 months, or 7 years.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay. Just depends on how you follow the teaching. If you practice Supatipanno, Uchu Patipanno, Yaya Patipanno, Samiji Patipanno, then 7 days, 7 months, or 7 years will be the time that you will achieve, for sure.
Try my best. Okay, thank you so much.
All right. Thank you for your company. I hope you learned something from it today and use it in your practice and advance in your practice. Okay?
Thank you very much.
All right. Okay. Enjoy your stay. Okay, Maria, you can ask any question you like to.
Thank you, Ajahn. We have here one friend from America. He also wants to ask a question. So I give him mic first and then we'll ask our question.
Okay.
Thank you. When I do a subha and body contemplation, the mind will understand these truths on a surface level, but it has trouble experiencing it directly. How do I contemplate a subha and the body to where I understand and experience the insights directly?
It's not much of an experience, it's much more of a memory. You want to impress it in your mind so you don't forget. So every time you see a person and you see it as a pleasant, you want to bring up this memory of a bad asubha images to counter the pleasant images that you see. So it's not the experience, but it's the memory you want to develop into your mind. So that you can, when you see a body, you can see both the pleasant and the unpleasant parts of the body at the same time. That's it. If you see both, then there will be no sexual desire coming up. If you only see one side, if you see the pleasant, then you can get sexual desire coming up. But if you counter it with unpleasant images of the body, then the sexual desire will disappear. That's the experience you want to have, is to counter, to get rid of your sexual desire when they come up, by using asubha images that you impress it into your memory, into your consciousness. You have to reflect, contemplate a lot until it becomes second nature to you. When you see a body, you see both sides of the coin. Let's put it that way. See the pleasant and the unpleasant part of the body. So you have to do a lot of contemplation, a lot of imagining, thinking of the unpleasant parts of the body, until whenever you see a body, you can see it right away. When you see me, you have to see the other parts of me right away, which is protected by the skin. See? But if you use contemplation a lot, then you can go through the skin. Your mind can see the under part of the skin, underneath the skin, but your eyes cannot see, but your mind can see, because you do contemplation or super contemplation all the time. Okay?
Thank you.
Is that all? All right, good.
Ajahn, Thai people told us that you were explaining in Thai language the 10 steps how to prepare for death in this Dhamma talk. Could you maybe tell us in brief in English?
Well, I was talking about the 10 perfections that make us different. People who are born here, we are different. Some are born rich, some are born poor, some are born good, some are born bad. This is because of our perfection that we developed in the past. If we develop a lot of perfection, we will be good, we'll be happy, we'll be rich. So this is what I meant by the 10 perfections. You have to look up in the Google and go through the 10 perfections. Barami, called Barami. This is what made the Buddha the Buddha. He had perfected his 10 perfections on his last birth, on his last life. So he was ready to become enlightened through the development of his perfection in the past life.
Thank you. Vadim wants to ask a question.
Would you be so kind to clarify what happened with personal chitta after the death? I mean, our experience, which we call memory, for example, does it dissolve in the common chitta or stay as a personal something like that? Could you clarify?
Well, all the memories that you have, all the things that you have committed, it is contained in the citta, in the knowing element. But it's up to your ability whether you can recall them or not. They're like data you put in on the hard disk. If you have a program, you might be able to access all the data. If you don't have the proper program, you might not be able to access them. So this is likewise. Some people have this psychic power, so they can access all the past life experiences. Like the Buddha, he can recollect all his past life, what he was before. But for most of us, we don't have this ability, this psychic power. So we forget. We don't know what happened to us in our last life. So this is the difference between. But the memory are there in the mind all the experiences are contained in the mind, good and bad, and they show effect by giving you good dreams or bad dreams. If you have a lot of good things happen, if you do a lot of good things, it will then come up when you go to sleep, come up in the form of good dreams. If you do a lot of bad things, when you dream you'll have bad dreams. And this is what will happen after you die also. You'll enter into dreamland. And it depends on which one is stronger, your good karma or your bad karma. If your bad karma is stronger, then you will have bad dreams. You'll be born in a real undesirable realm of existence. If you have good karma producing the dreams, you'll have good dreams. It means you'll be in heaven. Then after a while, all this effect will disappear. Then you wake up and reborn as a human again, and start all over a new cycle. Do more good karma and bad karma again.
Okay. And one detail more about your yesterday answer about what the best state of mind during at the moment of the dying, and you answered that the best state is a calm. I would like to clarify the calm. It's okay. I understood, but it would be better maybe to keep in joyness. It's more calm with joyness or something like that. And how can I cultivate it? Or calm, it's enough.
Well, calm and joy goes together. I forget to mention joy or contentment. Calm and contentment go together. If your mind is calm, you are happy. Let's put it that way. So you die happily with a calm mind. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
Amen.
We have several questions today. The first question is, usually you say, I was reading to them the discourses that you gave before from the books that we took from the dining hall, and they ask, it is said that we need to practice with all of our strength, but how to find the balance between these efforts and letting go, so not to go to extremities. So how to put in efforts, but not make it like too much, so that we stay relaxed and can let go.
Well, it's just like eating. You have to know when to stop. You eat too much and it can be a problem, right? So when you eat to get rid of your hunger. You practice to get rid of your dukkha. Once there is no dukkha, then there is no need to do any practice. It's like taking medicine. When you're sick, you take medicine. When you're well, you stop taking the medicine. So you know by yourself, in yourself, whether you need to, how much you need to practice. If you're still not happy, if you're still sad, then you have to practice. Continue practice until you become happy, and then you don't need to practice once you're happy.
Thank you. Another question: what is Dhamma and what is not Dhamma? How to understand if you are living together with Dhamma, or if you go some separate way, like wrong way?
Well, Dhamma has many meanings, okay, but the principal meaning is the teaching of the Buddha. It's called Dhamma. But Dhamma can also be used in terms of anything or everything. You and me are Dhamma. Yeah. So it depends on how you use the word Dhamma. Dhamma can be good karma or bad karma. So these are all Dhamma can be used for all these terms.
Can we say that in one of the meanings, Dhamma is like the nature of existence that is present in everything?
Anything, yeah, anything and everything, like I say. Dhamma is anything and everything. Sabbe Dhamma Anatta. Everything is anatta, no self. Yeah. Everything are natural phenomena.
Thank you. We wanted to ask about the ritual that we saw in the dining hall in the morning when people take small pots of water and then they pour them and they pour water under the trees. So it is like sharing merits with the dead. Is it right?
Well, see, merit is something you cannot see with your eyes. So use water as a replacement, as a symbol of your merit. And when you pour merit from one container to another, you're sending your merit from your mind, to another spirit. Mm-hmm. That's all. In real terms, you don't need to do this ritual. You just mention it in your mind. Say, I like to transfer this merit that I have made today for my father, my mother who passed away. And that's enough. If your father or mother spirit waiting for this merit, then they can accept it.
Yeah, that's actually our question. So we can share merits to the deceased people, even if they're reborn in some other world, they will receive our merits somehow?
No, only when they are still not born. They are hungry ghosts. If they are hungry ghosts, then they are come and wait to receive the merit from us. If they are born, then they don't need our merit because they can find things themselves.
And if they go to hell,
they cannot come out. They're like going to prison when they go to hell.
So we cannot share merits with people in hell?
No, you cannot. Only beggar spirits that are beggars. It means the spirits who when they are alive, they didn't do any merit. They didn't believe in making merits. So when they die, they don't have any merits with them. So the spirit become a hungry ghost. So then they have to come and ask merit from their relatives and friends.
And what is the reason why a person can be born there just because he didn't make any merit, so he had some defilements to be born as a hungry ghost?
Because he did bad karma, he steal out of greed. So he always hungry. No matter how much you still feel hungry, right? And when you die, your spirit cannot steal anything. So it becomes very intensely hungry. So it needs merit to keep it not hungry.
Okay, one woman is asking how many years pass between between death and rebirth, or it happens instantly. When a person dies, will he be reborn instantly, or there will be some gap?
It varies from spirit to spirit, varies from mind to mind. It depends on your good and bad karma, how much bad karma or good karma you have done. If you do a lot of bad karma, then you have to spend a lot of time in hell. So it takes a while before you can be reborn as a human. If you didn't do any good karma or bad karma, you can be reborn in a few months, in a few years, maybe. If you can find the right mother and father to produce the baby for you, the body for you. So it varies. It's hard to say. You cannot just say how many days, how many years, how many months you will be reborn as a human. Some can be reborn very quickly. So if they are reborn very quickly, they tend to remember things, and they can still remember what they did in their past life, what they lived, who they knew.
So you said that being born in hell or heaven, it's kind of a dream, but our life is not a dream, it's like more real as human beings.
You can call it a dream with open eyes dream. You know. When you close your eyes, it's closed eye dreams. Because everything is like a dream. What happened yesterday is already gone, right? What we did yesterday was just like a dream now to us. So everything, right now we're living in a dream, but we don't call it a dream, that's all. We call it reality, but reality that is passing all the time. So it's like a dream.
So all the states, they have equal dream-like qualities, whether it's hell or human realm or heaven, like all these realms of existence.
What? Are they same?
I was asking if all the realms of existence where you can be reborn, they are all like same, like dreams.
They are dreamland. Good dreams and bad dreams.
Okay. The question is about the past. Sometimes the mind gets attached even to something good. For example, it tries very hard to observe Shila, so even if a small mistake happens, it can, for a long time after it happened, the mind is very unbalanced and he tries to fix it, or he is obsessively thinking about that. So what to do in this case and how to teach the mind to forgive the mistakes and let go?
Well, if you did something unintentionally, it's not bad karma. And sometimes in life, sometimes we might hurt other people unintentionally, and this doesn't constitute to be a bad karma. And you cannot keep a perfect sila precept. You live in a world where there are so many moving things, and sometimes things get crashed together unexpectedly or unintentionally. This is not good bad karma, it's just accidental. So you have to learn to accept we don't live in a perfect world. We live in a world where there's constantly changing conditions that we cannot control. So don't try to be a perfectionist in trying to keep your precept. Be more pragmatic than perfectionist.
And if, for example, we did something like we offended somebody in the past, how to understand when it's important to go back, like to ask for forgiveness, try to fix something, or just stay in the present and try not to repeat this kind of mistake. So how to understand when we need to fix something from the past, or we just always let go of the past and just stay in the present?
Well, if you can make up with the person, then you go make up. Like if you did something wrong to that person, so you go seek forgiveness from that person, or at least show your remorse that you have done something wrong. Whether that person will forgive you or not, that's not our business. At least it makes us feel good that we have at least finally accepted what we did was wrong and show our remorse. But we might still have to pay the consequence of our action, regardless of whether we ask for forgiveness or not. So we have to be ready to accept any consequences of our action and move on. You cannot go back into the past anymore, but you can use the past to teach you a lesson so that you don't repeat the same mistake again the next time.
I wanted to ask a question about karma. Before we were staying in another temple, and there was one young boy, Thai boy, and he stole lots of our money. And then the policeman found him, and they returned money to the owners. So I wanted to ask if he still will have some bad, like karma, even though the money was returned to the owners, or it doesn't matter.
Yes, what he stole was the bad karma. He might have to pay the consequence in the future sometime. Maybe somebody will steal his money next time.
And can he somehow counteract, like if he gives to charity, then his like fruit of karma will be diminished for stealing? Or it goes like separate for charity, separate for...
Yeah, separate account.
Separate.
One bad karma is like debt, and the other account is like asset. Yeah.
Okay. One woman is asking, because we heard that arahants, they can feel other arahants from the distance, and she's asking if there are many people who reached enlightenment in our lifetime, or there are just a few people like this.
Well, it's hard to find out, because there's no census that collect the data, so we just don't know. I don't know anyway, and it doesn't matter. As long as you're happy and you have no suffering, that's enough.
And she was asking if it is possible to attain enlightenment for Christians and Muslims and other.
Yes, if they can practice the triple training of sila, samadhi, and panya, of precept, concentration, or meditation, and wisdom. If you can practice this, you can become enlightened.
Also, she was asking about art. Can art help in spiritual development of a person? So to read some fiction book, to look at some painting that can actually inspire you to practice Dhamma. And so is art important in the spiritual way?
Not important at all, but it can be a tool for somebody. If they can express the changing nature of things in art form, like aging, sickness, and death. If you paint a picture of a person getting old, getting sick and die, this is art, but it's Dhamma art, you see. So it depends on what kind of a depiction you give in your art. You can depict the fact of suffering, the fact of anicca, the fact of anatta, then this is good.
Thank you very much. And she was asking also what kind of art is better, but I think like any art, if it can depict this.
Well, the best art is to use your mind, teach your mind the truth of the four noble truths and the three characteristics of existence. Imaginative art is the best form for us.
Thank you very much. And also she was asking, now we have lots of wars happening, like between Russia and Ukraine, between other countries. So people who fight in the war, they should like acquire bad karma so they can be reborn in hell. But nowadays also the world is becoming more good. I mean, we protect the rights of people. So it seems like the development of humanity is progressing. But at the same time, still we have many people who are involved in this kind of military actions. So she was asking, what can we do to promote the peacefulness in the world?
Well, we can tell people not to fight, but that's all we can do. Whether they listen to us or not, that's something we cannot do. The Buddha said, keep the 5 precepts, then there will be no war.
So the killing in no case can be justified, right? Even if some people say like it's good reason because we need to fight for our freedom or for something, but still they go and kill other people, it cannot be justified from the Buddhist point of view.
No, according to Buddhism, when you kill regardless of for any reason, it is bad. It's not good to kill.
And anyway, you will get the hell karma, you will be reborn in hell?
Well, there are different levels of consequences for killing. Sometimes you might just be born as an animal. If you kill for living, if you kill for out of anger, then you go to hell.
And if you just kill, like some people, they think it's better for this person, like sometimes they think that this political leader is not good, we need to eliminate him so our country will live better. So
that's hatred though. If you kill by hate, then you go to hell.
Okay. And is it possible if a person has like very strong karma of killing still to change his way, and what can influence him? For example, if he is attached somehow to killing, he did it repeatedly, what factors can influence him to change his behavior to go to a more noble way?
If they run into the Buddha or the noble disciple, then they can influence their mind to change. Like there was a story about Angulimala. He killed 999 people, and he need one more to fulfill his goal. And the last one was the Buddha. So when he tried to kill the Buddha, he couldn't do it, because the Buddha had psychic power and make him seem like he's running after the Buddha, even when the Buddha is not doing anything at all. So he finally said, stop, I've been trying to run after you to kill you, but I cannot still catch you. The Buddha said, I have already stopped a long time ago. You're the one who hasn't stopped yet. You haven't stopped from killing. You haven't stopped from greed, hate, and delusion. When he said that, he finally realized the problem, that the thing that he needs to kill are his defilements. So he's changed the target of his killing from killing people to kill all the defilement in his mind. Once he had done that, he became a noble disciple. So you need to come across a good person like the Buddha or his noble disciple in order to change your life. We have many Westerners who were born in the West and have different religion, but they eventually came and ordained as a monk in Thailand because they came across the teaching of the Buddha. Just like you came across the teaching of the Buddha and you find it interesting and informative and good, So you want to learn more. This will influence your life, will change your lifestyle.
Thank you very much. And a question. So, in life, our biggest problem is that we attach to things and we cannot let go. And also that we think that some things belong to us, like our body or something. But if we manage to live understanding anicca and anatta, but still enjoying kind of the beauty, not the physical beauty, but still be happy about the life. So just let go. If we are able to let go, if we are able not to see any self in all the existence, but still see like the beauty of everything that happens, is it possible, or it's still like not true?
It's not true, because everything is anicca, everything changes. They don't remain the same. They cannot make you happy all the time. When they change, and the happiness you get from them will also change. And it can be, instead of being happy, you could be sad from them also. The only way to be happy all the time is to be happy with nothing, because nothing ever changes. Once you have nothing, then you don't lose anything. This is what Nibbana is, the happiness from nothing.
But if you are not attached to something, for example, you have money and tomorrow you won't have money, but you say, okay, so you're not attached, you just take it as it comes. Or it's just because it's so difficult, or it's not possible to live like this. So if you lose somebody, yes, you accept it. If you get something good, you accept that. Just always accepting, is this a good way of life, or it's just not possible?
You see, you have to have a replacement for these things. You have to have replacement for money, for people and things. And the replacement is the happiness you get from meditation. Once you have happiness from meditation, then you can give up everything.
Okay, and we have one last question. Where does the consciousness of Arahant remain after death?
The consciousness or the mind?
The mind.
What happened to it?
So
it still exists, but it doesn't take up birth anymore. Doesn't take up a new body and use the body for pleasure anymore. It has happiness by itself, in itself. So it doesn't need a body. So he doesn't take up a new body, a new birth.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right. Okay. I think that's about all for today. I hope this conversation is useful to you and help you advance in your practice. Okay.